I'm Harrison Graham. Let's get into a Chicago Bears now mailbag. We're filming this live on Monday, August 11th, so we are one preseason game into the preseason. Booker for DPOY. That would be electric. Hashtag Bears saw a report that the Jets could trade Breece Hall. Should we trade for him? I actually talked about this on 4Verts. Now, it was from Tony Pauline, so he's had some hits, has some misses, but there has been some chatter that they like Braelon Allen more than Breece Hall, and with Breece Hall in a contract year, he's even been on the record saying, this regime didn't draft me, so I have to prove that I'm worthy of them wanting to keep here. Kind of feels like he knows his time with the Jets could be coming to an end, whether it's via trade or they just let him walk after this season. And if the Jets like Braelon Allen more, would you just trade Breece Hall to try and get something for him? Good runner, good receiving back. I thought last year was a bit of an underwhelming season for him. He's never quite hit that full potential, although he has been pretty productive. I probably would only consider it for a late day 3 pick. I'm not doing a day 2 pick, probably not doing a 4th. I'd do a 5 or a 6. If I'm trading a 4th, I'd probably want to pick back. Like, give me Breece Hall and a 7th for a 4th or something like that. Like, I guess I could swallow that, but I'm not doing it for a day 2 pick. And I like Breece Hall, but, I also like what I'm seeing from Kyle Monangai. I think DeAndre Swift is going to be pretty good in this offense. Roschon Johnson being banged up recently, that's a bit of a curveball to the situation, but is Roschon getting banged up enough of a reason to go overpay for Breece Hall? I don't know I'm there. So we'll see how it shakes out. We'll see what the Jets do. Sometimes you see, little trades before or after roster cutdown day. So going to be interesting. Certainly a position the Bears could still add at, but I do think they have enough to get by. Are the Bears good enough at running back? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I think they're good enough. I will say this, if they have concerns about how the passing game could look early, would you want to get a guy like Breece Hall who can help be a bell cow and take pressure off Caleb in the passing game? Sure, you could go that route, but my guess is they probably will not. Kiddis, what UDFA do you believe has the best chance of making the 53? Oh, it's a good question. I probably would have said J.P. Richardson like a week or two ago. Has that shifted to the other receiver, Jahdae Walker, after his preseason opener? Especially if Miles Boykin injury lingers, could Walker be the backup X? Could he be like wide receiver 6, backup X? He'd have to be able to play on special teams to make the team. Not sure how they view him as a special teamer, but high character guy. He forget what the award's called, but he won some big award for his character at Texas A&M. So easy to root for. Made some big plays against Miami. So maybe him. Xavier Carlton's a name I would make. Batted a ball at the line of scrimmage against the Dolphins. So called his name out at least once. But I would maybe shift toward Jahdae Walker at this point. But I would also I'll throw one more out there. Deion Hankins, I thought, did a couple of nice things. Like, that probably only happens if Roschon Johnson is on short-term IR. But those are a few guys that could make the team. The other one I'd consider was Major Burns, but he just got injured. I don't know how long he's going to be out. Luke Clark, what are your current playoff teams in the NFC? Well, I'm going to do a full prediction, but I'll throw a few out here. Let's start outside of the NFC North. I think Philly is obviously a playoff team. I keep going back and forth between Dallas and Washington. I do think one of those teams make it. I guess I'll say Washington with this Micah stuff going on, but I don't feel super confident in it. But I'll say they're a wild card team. I think just the Bucks out of the NFC South. I'll still pick the Rams. I'm going to say Stafford is plays most of this season at least, so I'll say them. And then coming back to the North, I think the North gets 2 this year, not 3. Right now, I would say the Lions, and I'm debating between the other 3, including the Bears. I will have my final prediction before week 1. I'm not ready to give it, but that's kind of where things sit right now. And then, is that 7 teams? 2 from the North, 2 from the East, 1 from the South. Okay, 49ers. They'll be a playoff team. Sorry. Producer Colin is saying Seahawks. They could be. I think Seattle's going to be solid. Okay. Subscribe and join us every Thursday, Monday as well, which is today. 4 o'clock Central Time, we go live and do these mailbag episodes. We got you guys covered, so go ahead and rock and roll with us. Tim Griffin, who will have a better impact this season, the defense or the offense? I'd probably say the defense, but I'm not completely punting on the offense. I think by the end of the year, especially, the defense or the offense could be better than the defense. But I especially think early on, and if you were betting just throughout the course of the season, which unit would you bet on more? You just would say the defense. Part of that is just the history of this franchise, but I also think the defense is just ahead of the offense right now. So I would say the defense. Eli Davis, how many receivers make the team this year? I mean, it'll be at least 5. I don't think it'll be more than 6. I think the top 4 are locks of DJ, Rome, Zaccheaus, and Burden. They're all going to be on this team. The fact that Zaccheaus didn't even play in the preseason opener, he's on the team. That's not – he has had a hell of a camp. Him and Caleb have had a good they've built good chemistry. Burden, he's on the team, obviously. Rome, DJ. I think Duvernay's mostly safe. Thought he flashed a little bit at receiver. Seems like he's going to be the return guy. And if you go 6, I think it's, I would give Miles Boykin the slight edge, but with him getting banged up recently, I think a guy like Jahdae Walker could enter that discussion. I think J.P. Richardson's on the outside looking in now, especially with Zaccheaus and Duvernay, both slot guys, so that's probably a tough path. I think Tyler Scott's clock is ticking very fast. I don't like his chances at all. And the other guys, John Jackson, Samari Torrey, they're bottom of the roster guys. So I would say if you keep 6, it's between Miles Boykin and I'll throw Jahdae Walker into the mix right now. Maurice Alexander, too, actually. He played pretty good in the preseason opener, but kind of like Duvernay and Zaccheaus, smaller slot guy. It's kind of a prototype question, right? Like if I'm keeping a 6th receiver, ideally I'd want a backup X for Rome Odunze, and to me that's got to be Miles Boykin or Jahdae Walker. Hypothetically, if you could add any player to this team, current player, we're not going to say Walter Payton, who would it be? Who would you add to this roster? I want to hear from Bears fans right now. All right, Adam Morrow, do you think passing on Chubb was a mistake? Not really. He looks slow in the clips I've seen. I think he'll be serviceable for Houston, but I just don't think he's what he was. I was on board with doing it, but I wasn't like, you have to go get Nick Chubb. I think he's a fine running back at this point in his career. So, no, I don't think that's some major mistake. Tom, do they keep 3 QBs on the 53? I'd be shocked if they didn't. Tyson's a young guy, still developing, improving. He's shown flashes. Case Keenum, they brought him here for a reason. You don't want to risk cutting him and him getting claimed elsewhere. In a perfect world, could you be like, Bajan's the backup, Keenum's on the practice squad? Sure, but I think that's way too risky. They also gave him some guaranteed money. They're keeping 3. They're keeping 3. I'd be floored if one of those top 3 guys wasn't on the 53-man roster. Appreciate all the questions. If you have more, you know where to find me. Twitter, Instagram, @HGramNFL. If you DM me after the watch party, if you're one of our raffle winners, I am still catching up on DMs. I will get back to you. Have no fear. I got you. But if you also want to fire in more questions over there, you can do so. DMs are open @HGramNFL.